Yeah, actually one of the few aesthetic guys in the sport. I mean, I feel like, say, Phil's aesthetic, Daxter's aesthetic, Victor's aesthetic, Dennis Wolf to a certain degree, but it's not too many. I mean, it's like you can name the entire top guys on two hands and pretty much cover them all. I mean, even a lot of the 202 guys, they aren't even aesthetically pleasing. So, and but I don't think, a lot of people want to be a freak. They want to look like a freak. You know what I'm saying?
Like being
I always, say that you still want to be sexy with it though too. So, when I started lifting, I started bodybuilding to attract the opposite sex. It wasn't about, being the biggest dude or, having the most ripped muscles. I just wanted to have the overall awesome body. So that's the route that I took. Below 32 inches. No.
That's at what weight when you're on stage?
Anything. My last show was 284. I haven't competed in I was competing in my early pro career in the 60s, and it was right around 31 at that time. And so in between 31 and 32, anywhere from 265 to 285. I weigh about right at 300 pounds, and if I was to guess my body fat, between 7 and 8 maybe.
So you're staying pretty lean. How far out are you from your next show?
My next show is in June, so I got a while. Normally this time I'd be full steam ahead getting ready for the Arnold, but like I say, I'm focusing on my business and stuff this first quarter.
Okay, and you're at 6'2"?
Yeah, 6'2", 300. And my weight's fluctuating right now between 297 and 305, 306. When I'm dieting for shows, I try to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours that I'm awake. So usually I get between 5 and 7 meals. Closer to 5. Most days is 5. A lot of days is 6. But there's times where I'm getting up at 4:35. I'll end up getting 7 meals in just because I'm up that much more time. Calorie wise, I don't really count calories. What I do is I try to get at least 50 grams of protein per sitting. I manipulate the carbs according to what I'm doing, and I try to get, a decent amount of fat per sitting as well. So typically I'm using tablespoons of oil. If I'm doing low fat or no fat days, then I'll eliminate the oil. But during my regular contest prep, I'm doing, 2 tablespoons of oil per meal, along with whatever fat that's in the food and the protein, and then like I say, my carbs are manipulated according to what I'm actually trying to achieve. It used to be Big Bang Theory. I love that show. Now I just NFL Network. Football season's about to be over, so I'm kind of milking it a little bit.
So you're not doing.
But I like extreme fishing and man versus food and all that. I call it food porn. When I'm dieting for shows, I sit there and watch the Food Network all the time, all the cooking shows, and like I said, I call it food porn.
Living vicariously through somebody else.
Yeah, you sit there and it's like, wow, I never thought of it. I never thought of that. Oh, I'm gonna make that as soon as the show's over. So that's what I sit there and do that. If I could just pick a car that I would want, probably the Aston Martin Vanquish. If I could just say I want that right there, I'd probably do that. Well, in '95 I tore my pec, and so before I tore my pec, I was doing 315 for sets of 20.
How many half reps?
I'm not a half repper at all. Now there's movements that I do in my current training movement that are, maybe I'll do 1 1/4 reps, but that's on purpose, not my typical form. But I rarely even touch 350 now. It's more like 225 where I stay around. disadvantages would be just buying clothes,
You're able to wear the bodybuildinghumor.com 3XL.
Yeah, and the thing is, with the hip hop fashion, there's more baggy clothes. So the clothes that's supposed to be baggy on you, they fit me normal. I mean, maybe I have to get the waist adjusted, but usually it's just fit, clothes and shoes, and sometimes tables at the restaurant. I'm not super big this way, so it saves me in a lot of situations. The airplane situation, because I travel so much, I'm a medallion member, so normally I get upgraded to first class. But like I just went to LA and I didn't get upgraded to first class. I was just in a regular coach seat, and that gets uncomfortable. But I mean, it's not unbearable. But just basically, since you don't have much wiggle room, you just don't wiggle. And I just usually just go to sleep. But the advantages is just everyday life. People tend to treat me differently. I can just tell that they're doing it because of my size. I mean, a lot of people they don't. There's no shame. They let you know that they're doing this for you because of how big you are, or whatever. I was in Sweden, and at the mall every day I ate for free at the mall in the food court. Now I don't think no one in the food court in America would let me eat for free, but the people in Sweden, they were feeding me over there, and it's just because of how big I am.
You probably don't have to worry about road rage as much. So.
I don't. I mean, I do have my own behind the wheel, but I'm not gonna. I have been known to jump out of the car and yell at people every once in a while, but that's only an extreme.
Well, you don't have to worry about them jumping out of the car to yell at you.
No, I actually have had people jump out of the car and then they saw me and jump right back in. So. Man, I got so many of those. It's not even funny. But I think the one that really stands out in my head. I was at. I wish I could remember this guy's name. He was a famous basketball player. He used to play for Atlanta Hawks, and he played for the Knicks as well. I will think of his name later. But anyway, I was at his house. We were talking about training, and he hollered for his son to come outside and meet me. So his son comes busting out the door, and he comes flies out the door, and he slides on the concrete door. He's like, and then he saw me. He was like, "Oh my God, you look like a superhero!" And that was just his first, instinctive reaction. I thought that was really, really cool. That was really cool. I mean, besides the basic ones, how much you bench press? Is that real? Do you take steroids? What happened?
You just lift heavy and take.
What happened if you just stop working out? Just all kind. What can I take to get like that? Just the basic stuff.
Cell tech. That's what you take to get like that. Cell tech.
I think the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me that just kind of split my wig, blew my mind was I was at the gym. It wasn't my gym. It was somebody else invited me to their gym. So I'm in there and I'm training, and I got on my little spandex shorts and my spandex outfit. I call it the uniform with my belt on. And a friend of mine who's not really a bodybuilder anymore, he used to be back in the day, and we're training, and I'm kind of showing him, some new techniques that I got. So, I'm waiting on him. He's doing his set, and I'm standing there. All of a sudden, this guy walks up. He didn't say, "Hey, my name is such and such." He just walked up and was gave the head nod right to my boy. My boy was finishing the set, and he looks at me. He was like, "Wow, you look amazing." And I was like, "Thanks." And then he smacked me on the ass, like they do in football. And I didn't even know what to do. I walked to the other side of the building because I had to gather myself. I'm I walked back over there, and I'm like, "Yo, dog, what's up with that?" He was like, "What's the problem?" I said, "Dude, I'm a 45-year-old man. You just can't be smacking me on my ass like that." He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I coached football for 35 years." I said, dude, I ain't got no numbers on my shirt. There ain't no grass in here. You ain't even got a whistle on. Are you serious? I just was still to this day, I mean, that just still messes my head up to think that someone would just smack you on the ass and you, like it was nothing. I mean, if I did that to someone, they'd be calling 911.
Probably hurt a lot more if you did it to someone.
So that's one of